Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Massachusetts Independent Film Festival. I'm here with Kris Salvi, who played for On the Air. He was the lead in the project. Amazing actor, amazing artist. Kris, can you talk a little bit about how you got into that character?
Uh, well, it's weird, but I stayed overnight at the location that we actually shot in.
Yeah.
I stayed over there. That was pretty good. Listened to a whole bunch of Howard Stern from early '90s Howard Stern, and listened to a lot of dialogue from a movie called Talk Radio with Eric Bogerson, where he played a DJ, sort of similar to the Max Tanner character. So I did that, and I read a lot of Playboy letters, from Penthouse. They had a stack of old Playboys, man, and those flipping stories, man, are great, dude. I don't know, seemed like something Max Tanner would read. The air, funny sex stories. That was good.
So speaking of Max Tanner goes through a journey in this project. So do you want to speak a little bit about the journey that Max Tanner goes through?
Yeah, he kind of starts off as a dude that's, high up on his hill, high up on his horse. Nobody can touch him. And he gets a caller on the air, and that caller seems to know everything about the dude and just completely tears him down with all this blackmail-like information. And that's without giving too much away, that's pretty much it, So Max kind of has to rediscover himself through caller number 3. And that's a real struggle.
So, and I know that you spoke a little bit about staying at the studio overnight and a couple articles that you read. What were some of the other ways that you were able to mentally get prepared to play this character?
Well, Max Tanner's kind of an asshole. And I'm kind of an asshole, too. So, it's not one of those, things where, you got to do a lot of research. Once you're kind of a scumbag, and you're asked to play a scumbag, you don't really need to go much out of your, depth. You know what I mean? So, but it is hard trying to convey that, better than you attitude, which is the one thing as a self-renowned asshole that I am, don't have. That most assholes do. So I had to work on that a little bit, as a scumbag, trying to find that I'm better than you attitude, which Max Tanner has. I have this more of well, I could be better than you, but, I'm lazy. So it's hard to kind of reach into your inner scumbag, I think it's something everybody has to do at one point or another. And you just kind of lock yourself away from everybody for a while. Don't talk to everybody, and don't donate to any charities. That'll get you there, man.
So, the short was taking place in the '90s.
Yeah.
So do you want to speak a little bit about how difficult it was to have that kind of '90s mind frame, and even make a parallel between what's going on today in society and what was going on at that time?
Well, the thing about that is it's kind of weird, too, because when we made that film, the Harvey Weinstein scandal and all these other, Me Too movements had not started yet. We kind of, I don't know, we tapped into something before, I guess, everybody else did in a way, And something like that in the late 90s was kind of like a big, Max Tanner, if he was like a real character, well, he's real to me, but if he was a real character, he would sort of be like the zeitgeist of the time. We had the Millennium Y2K scare. We have Columbine. Bill Clinton gets, fucking kicked out of the White House. So Max Tanner is a little bit of metaphor. He's almost like a representation of the end of the 90s. We see the end of the 90s, and we also sort of see the end of Max Tanner's career, too, at the same time. You know what I mean? But trying to stay in that 90s mindset, I was alive in the 90s, just don't use your cell phone, man. That's it, dude. Nobody had a cell phone in the 90s. I don't care what the fuck your name is, man. If you had a cell phone in the 90s, you were a rich white guy. And I wasn't that. I was white, but I wasn't rich. And, it's just one of those things where you just kind of got to, like I said, reading a lot of Playboy magazines, not using cell phones, listening to old, Howard Stern DJ. It'll get you right back in there, man. And I think in a way, it's a social commentary film. But I also think it's a little bit I think people are a little bit too afraid to face a film like that. You know what I mean? Especially now, it's so prominent. You know, like I heard somebody in the audience, somebody next to me, they were just shaking their head and they just went, shit. You know, that's the kind of. So I don't know. I guess that's the best way I can put it. You know, without sounding like a self-pretentious douchebag. You know.
So, how does the film relate to what's going on in society today?
Well, I think it's relevant. You know, you see a lot of these celebrities, a lot of old cases are coming up, you know, about them, you know, doing, you know, whatever it is that they did. And, you know, with Max Tanner, you kind of have like the poor man's version of that. Instead of the media on his ass, it's a, you know, radio caller, you know, trying to shove it in his face what he did. And you also have his victim on the phone with him, too, at the same time. So I think it speaks a lot about the social climate of today, you know, that nobody is untouchable. And Max Tanner was a character who thought he was untouchable. But he's not, so they'll get you. I mean, if you did shit 20 years ago, man, they'll come and get you. And Max Tanner did shit long ago, and they got him. And I think that's relevant for anybody who's, like I said, high up on their mountain, high up on their horse. No one can touch me. I'm better than you. We can all be brought down, man. Big, little, rich, poor. So I think that's a lot. I think that'll speak to a lot of people when they watch the film. Because as I said before, I saw a lot of responses where people were like, shit, this is a little bit too meta right now. You know?
And you did a fantastic job. So where can our audience find some more of your work at? Or where can they follow you on social media?
Facebook, you know, I guess. Or you can, I don't know, I'm on Google now apparently. Somebody Googled me the other day and they had some stuff come back. So if you Google my name, I guess some stuff comes back. But mostly just go on Facebook and you'll find me. Or if you go down to your local post office, there's a wanted picture of me up there too. That's a good place to find me. And yeah, just go on, what is it? You can Google me now, right? Is Google, am I on Google? Google me. You can YouTube me. I got some stuff on there, you know.
So do you want to say your YouTube channel for our audience?
It's just Kris Salvi. Just type in Kris Salvi on YouTube, and you'll get some of my movies, and you'll get an Indian Olympic skater.
Kris Salvi, amazing job on the air.
Oh, thanks, man. Awesome.
Good job, Kris.